the you right here listening to this. You, the point of awareness, that you are, the soul that you are inside this particular body that you inhabit, this particular mind, this particular system. It is unexplored terrain, and you're right now exploring it. Welcome to Vibration Translation, from spiritual awakening, spiritual integration, the present moments, and our authentic interaction with what is right in front of us, right now. Amaya, hi, back. Hiya, we are back. I wasn't planning on making more episodes really for a while, and I just got inspired. Today, I want to talk about a lot of things. I want to talk about what's important to me. And I want to own that, I've had a really hard time. Personally, for myself, it's been a challenge to own, to own my soul, my journey, my story, who I am by means of, what's important to me, what I value. And the thing that I found that I value and that I want to explore more and more is a capacity to connect, truly connect. And I believe that the amount that we can truly connect with another person is directly proportional to the amount that we connect with ourselves. And ourselves extends to that seed, that droplet of passion. So I believe that the amount that we are connected to our passion, life force, the life, the light, the fire inside us is a direct proportion to which we can connect to another person. Because if we're to connect at a depth to another person, isn't the depth through that life that is within you and through that life that is within the other person? Things I've been thinking about. So, another thing I want to mention, just a little development within myself, is, and this is all related to the theme of today's video, confidence. Capacity for confidence. Because if you're not confident within yourself, how will you be relating to another human being? From which location inside of you will you be relating to another person if you have no confidence in who you are? How will you be relating to another person? How will you be known then if you have no confidence to back you up on anything of what you are? And so these are all the elements of connection. Confidence being an element of connection. Connection to your passion, to your life being an element to connection. Recognizing the mirrors that we all are for each other. I'm a character in your story. And the way that you are, what you are seeing within me is, at least in some qualities, drastically different than the next person watching the video, what they are seeing inside of me. I'm just a character inside of your main character story, How can we reflect one another? And when it comes to connection, how can we see that the triggers, the trigger point is another pathway of connection. It's another pathway of understanding. when somebody gets triggered, they are then given the opportunity, divine freaking opportunity, for a part of themselves, that part of themselves that is getting triggered, to rise up to the surface, to be looked at, to be mirrored. That trigger brings that part to the surface. It may be in an explosive kind of way, like pulling a trigger, like, whoa, yeah, now I'm really riled up. Well, who is the I? It's a part of you that is triggered, that is uneasy. And then you get to understand more of yourself through that trigger. So even in connections with people, especially when we get triggered, that is a challenging, So if it's challenge, but it's an opportunity to understand more about ourselves and not even not over focusing on the understanding from the logical perspective, but from an integrated perspective. What do I mean by that? I found that for myself when I overanalyze and try to understand and really want to understand, that's another compulsive part of my mind that is having a hold on me, that is making me hold on to a certain way of being. A certain way of needing to be to maintain a certain story. But what if there's just no story that you're telling yourself? What do you mean, what if there's no story? What if there's no story anymore? What if within the trigger you recognize that it is a story? And what if within the recognition of that story you can, have that awareness, have that label of, oh, this is a story, oh, this is a part of me. And what if within that trigger you're then able to let go of a part of you that may want to understand everything. I have a part like that. Wants to the overthinking, the overanalyzing of self, the over-criticizing. What if you just let that part be and show you what it needs to show you from a space of a still observer? I was recently listening to Eckhart Tolle, and he was talking about the concept of an alert stillness. And I really love that. Because an alert stillness doesn't attach. It is open. It's open. It's not percolating with thoughts. It's not stimulating your nervous system. It's not doing anything except being present to what is, and really present in its alertness, right? Maybe like there is inside of me, maybe inside you there's a part of you that wants to explain itself or logicalize everything, or, the list can go on. But for me, there's a part of me that wants to explain itself constantly. And I recognize that it is a part of me instead of, the aligned, centered soul led me, because there's a feeling of like incredible unease the deeper I move into that space of I need to explain myself, and operating from the space of I need to explain myself. Or operating from the space of, oh my God, am I doing something wrong? Oh my God, am I saying something wrong? Oh my God, What if this whole video is for no reason? Why am I doing this? Oh my gosh, why am I not organized? Why is this video not looking like this or this or that? None of that feels good. It feels anxiety inducing. And as you live in a society, I don't know which one, but we're on the Earth society right here. I live in America, the American society. Within our collective consciousness is percolating waves of all this stuff that's like inherent in the weavings of the collective at the moment. The anxiety, the depression, the this, and the ADHD, and the OCD, and the, you know what I mean? And many pathways basically that your mind can take to operate from. But what if you can be free of all that? Now, I certainly get triggered at times and I'm not able to handle it in a graceful, best case scenario manner of handling getting triggered. But what I'm proposing here is, even if you think that you handle it like shit and you really are like, wow, I really handled that really bad, you know? I really fell into the deep dark hole inside my mind. Can you see getting triggered as an experience that allows you to gain more insight into yourself, and also insight into the operations of the collective mind? Because you're in a body, you're given this vehicle that also has a mind, and there's a certain way the mind operates, latches onto information, and yes, you are a unique point of awareness within this body that you have that gets to experience this unique perspective of navigating unique challenges. You know? Maybe you have OCD. Like me. And that's a unique challenge. That has a unique set of patterns, you know, that your mind takes, that your nervous system, you know, has embedded within itself. But what an experience that is. You get to be from the inside of it. You get to master it, and you get to understand more of yourself through it. This is novel terrain, you know, you, the you right here listening to this. The point of awareness, you know, that you are, the soul that you are inside this particular body that you inhabit, this particular mind, this particular system. It is unexplored terrain, and you're right now exploring it. So I invite in this perspective that the next time you get triggered, we can even set an intention right now. It can be very powerful, forward-moving energy into that future moment, into our subconscious right now. Let's set this intention. You know, I invite you to, if you like, the next time I get triggered, me and you, yeah? I see it. I see the big picture of it being an opportunity for me to integrate parts of myself that have been separated, excluded, of the past, patterned into me. I have an opportunity to integrate these parts. I have an opportunity to feel these parts. These parts are not, you know, some foreign entities. They're me. They're part of me. They're part of my system. my consciousness of how I operate in this world. And I, from this observer, from this witness, from this alert stillness, yeah, I get to bring them home. Knowing that, trusting in that, I'm exactly where I need to be. That whatever's coming up for me is exactly what needs to come up. This is a beautiful opportunity for me to invite more love for all of me. And I know that I'm doing my best. It's all I could ever ask from myself. And sending this beautiful energy forwards. Perhaps visualizing a stream of golden or white, light, whatever color you like. And just propelling that forwards into any future times of unease, getting triggered, propelling this beautiful intention forwards. You don't need to be any other way than what you are. I don't need to be any other way than I am. Than I am, and how I emerge within the stillness and the space when I allow myself to have that space, stillness, for the discovery of the new frontier of myself to emerge. Isn't that cool? And that, I believe this perspective about triggers, what I just offered, can really help in disarming ourselves from these patterns, right? That we maintain to keep ourselves hidden. And I still keep parts of myself hidden here and there, and it's just like terrifying to these parts to reveal myself. And it's okay too. All in good time. You don't need to jump off the tallest cliff of the tallest mountain you can find within your psyche right at this moment, It's gradual, consistent. It's not a dopamine rush. It's not an instant gratification of being fully healed this instant, It's a gradual expression and action of love towards oneself, wrapped in understanding. And also movement forwards, and also a devotion. Yeah. Because if you just have understanding, you're going to coddle yourself, without the true devotion. I think true love for self is a devotion to the truth. And the movement forwards from that place, And the aspect I was speaking about earlier of confidence, because confidence, connects you to that part of yourself that is true, connects you to that part of yourself that really truly has value, because you can self-recognize that value of it, because it is that value of it comes from the love, the love and the passion and the joy that you have like inside it. Allow the being that is you to be being as it is right now, without overanalyzing it, without trying to understand it, without just without any mental constraints, without any mental holding on tos. Just in that stillness. What happens then? I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know what you see in me, in this mirror, of this character, Maya, popping up in your reality. I'm curious about what that reflection shows you about yourself. What do you notice? What is most prominent? See, that is your mirror. And I think having a curious mind that's open to the possibilities, so that, I'm not like set in, I am right about everything and this is the end game right here. It's like, I value a curious mind that's open to the possibility. It's the unknown that is the nature of this mystery that we're in. What could we discover together if we really open up and connect to the parts of us that are like really true and real? Because people want to connect with each other, but somehow, maybe, have you ever felt that, you don't really get as deep of a connection or as deep of a feeling of connecting as you'd like to get with people? Do you ever feel that? I feel like I feel that a lot. And I think to remedy that is not just to say, oh my God, the outside world is just like so surface level society, but to be like, hey, like what parts of myself have I not deeply connected with? Have I not deeply accepted? Have I not gained confidence in embodying? And I think from there, really beautiful things can happen. And so I wanted to share this video. And yeah, thank you for being here in the interaction space of our consciousness. All right, bye for now.